Today I want to look into a period in the history that we are told that is called the heroic age of Antarctic exploration. And we are looking at a map that shows the belief of how Antarctica was portrayed. And then we come into getting acquainted with the actors. I have gotten most of my information from Wikipedia. I don't care about looking at other sources because I'm just interested in reading an accepted source of the story that we're being told. It is said that there were at least 17 major Antarctic expeditions, and that it took and that these explorations came from at least 10 different countries. Among them we have Norway, Sweden, United States, Germany, and other of the industrialized countries of that time. I mean, we're talking about the 1850s to the 20s or something. It took a great deal of time, and it is very interesting to see all this effort put into exploring a region that was thought of just having ice. They say, as they write the story, that many of these characters, or these actors, parties, were run into a lot of problems, financial problems, and they were about to give up. But then there's always the hero, the one that manages to get it done. I want to look at a few things more deeply. In a classroom, one teacher is able to control 40 students because the teacher is older, it's smarter, and it is stronger. Usually the teacher is about, I'm talking about, 10, 11-year-olds, students. Usually the teacher is about twice the size of a 10-year-old. In a university setting, how a teacher controls the classroom is different, because if you're not really interested, you're going to lose the money you have paid for your education, or it is easier to kick you out of this environment. Sorry, got a message, got distracted there. My point is that in order to establish order, you have to have a certain method to control 10-year-olds. You need to be stronger. You need to be able to have a higher level of intelligence and methods on how to make these students listen. To control older people, you have to use financial methods. You will lose that $3,000 you have paid for the class. You will get kicked out of the university, and then you won't get the job. You all know what I'm talking about. Now, in business, a businessman is always interested in checking what the competition is doing because he doesn't want to lose his business. In law, a candidate to become a president has to check what the other candidates are doing and possibly get into a campaign of dishing out some dirt on the other person. It is sad, but that's the way it is. And if you are in the business of controlling the world, you better be willing to finance expeditions to places that might seem like they hold no value. For example, the poles. A lot of ice. Nobody lives there. Not even that many animals live in the coldest regions, supposedly. At least this is what it was believed. But we don't know for sure, so we need to go and check. Because ruling the planet takes knowledge, because knowledge is power. And if you are going to not get all the knowledge possible, then somebody might dethrone you. This would be a way, I would be a reason, right? And we have people who say, oh, well, I think differently, and that's okay. There are so many ways to think about, right? But we know about Mercator coming up with a different map that showed a possibility of finding land in the North Pole and other things. So if you are ruling the planet, if you are one of those people who are really thinking, you're not going to take a story at face value. You are going to see if it's true or not. Continuing with the story that we are being told, they say that during this period, 19 expedition members died. They say that the value that they got out of this expedition was that they located the geographical and magnetic poles. And this is what they do. This is usually what they tell us. They usually tell us things that would make us bored, that would make us think that there is no value of going to this place. What would be the value for an average person to find a geographical or magnetic pole? There would be no value, right? In other words, they have gotten rid of our curiosity. First is expensive, second is cold, and all there is magnetic and geographical pole. That sounds really exciting, right? Well, this is what they say, right? And at last they write that the scientific community has gathered so much data that they will be busy for decades. They must be really slow-thinking scientists, right? I mean, what can you be analyzing for decades? Unless we're not being told exactly what they found. And I, and other group of curious individuals, believe that there is more land beyond the poles. Forget whether the earth is flat or round. Who cares about that? What we are saying here is to dominate this world, you're going to need a power that equals to being twice the height and a lot more intelligence than an average 10-year-old in a classroom setting. You're going to need corporal punishment, and all kinds of methods to get to have people listen to you. These individuals that are managing this planet have those capabilities. I am not saying that they are necessarily taller than we are, but I am saying that they are stronger in many ways, whether intelligence or whether other kinds of powers. And they got these powers because they ventured to go where nobody else wanted to go. I see the world the way it is, and I don't like the way it's being run. I see there's poor people, and there will always be poor people, and unless we change the managers. Use of violence brings no victory. What one needs to do is gain the power. And the answer might lie beyond the North Pole. Research, blood or intent. Research Mercator's maps. Love to all.